Hi second graders, we're here with our writing video today for Monday, and we are going to be starting a brand new piece of writing. All right, so today we're going to be working on something called a biography. Do you remember what a biography is? It starts with the word bio.
That means life.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess what?
What?
A biography is a piece of writing about someone's life.
Oh, okay.
So if I wanted to write all about you,
Mhm.
Mrs. Grant, that would be called a biography.
Oh.
So it could be about anyone.
It wouldn't be about ourselves, though. That's an autobiography.
Correct.
So it has to be
We're
about
going to get to
somebody
that
else.
soon.
Soon, but
yes.
not yet. Right now, we're focusing on other people.
A biography is when you write something about another person's
Yes.
life. And today we're going to start just that. You are going to be doing research of a famous person. Now, believe it or not, Mrs. Grant and I, we are not famous, so you are not allowed to choose us. I know that's probably pretty disappointing.
I mean, we do have a YouTube channel where all of these videos are posted, and
With
we're
like
kind of
50
YouTube famous.
subscribers.
Like 50 subscribers. Subscribe and
Cool.
like.
We gave you some other ideas that might be a little bit more helpful.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. You may have heard of some of these, and maybe you haven't. We have Albert Einstein. He was an inventor. Amelia Earhart. She was a pilot. Marie Curie, right,
Mhm.
was a scientist. Jackie Robinson was a famous baseball player. Sally Ride was a female astronaut. And Walt Disney, that one you might have heard of before, actually a person. He was an animator. Now, this is just a small list. If you have an idea of someone famous that you really want to write about, you're more than welcome to do that. However, I want us to take a look at section number 2 on the worksheet. You need to be able to research your famous person. Research means to read and learn about the person that you are studying. We would like you to be able to use Epic, unless you have some books and resources at home already or you have access to the library to get them. So you're going to be choosing a book, and we do want you to read it. We're going to show you what that's going to look like on Epic today, because Mrs. Grant and I have already chosen our famous person, which means, are they going to be allowed to write about that person?
No, you can't. But I do want to add, though,
Mhm.
one of the reasons we wrote these people down as options is because we know for sure that they have books, multiple books on Epic about these people.
Mhm.
So if you don't want to come up with your own person, or you look up somebody on Epic and there's not a book on them and you can't figure out how to research, these are all people who have books on Epic about them. So it'll
Yep.
be easy to research if you do end up choosing somebody from here.
You got
Yes.
it. Thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we have decided, I'm going to move this sheet up for just a little bit so that we can see everything. Mrs. Grant and I have decided that we're going to be writing about someone named Alexander Graham Bell, and I'm going to be showing you what that research is going to look like when we go on Epic today to help you out.
I'm just gonna put G because I can't fit all of it on the line. I'm like writing big like Miss Marquardt,
got
Alexander
it.
Graham Bell.
All right, so I'm going to switch our source, and I'm going to show you what it
I don't know why I wrote that one. I had to change it.
We weren't really thinking. Okay,
That's okay.
We're going to come back to that in just a minute.
That's where you put the name.
All right, so take a look. In the search bar, I typed in Alexander Graham Bell, and I hit the search button, and all of these different books came up. So take a look. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 books. If I scroll down, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 books. There are at least 8 books on Alexander.
that's a lot.
Graham
Whoa,
Bell.
yeah,
There's a
so
lot.
many.
Now, one of them just looks more interesting to me. I'm noticing that this one is a National Geographic Kids version,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that those have great information about them. So I'm just going to click on that book, and as you can see, I have already flipped through this multiple times doing some research here. Oops, sorry about that. Look at all
that
these
information, the
different
pictures,
pages.
the timelines, so nice.
Now, take a look. This might be helpful to you. So it's going to give you a little bit of information about the title and the author. It's going to tell you what the book is about. And it'll even give you a little bit of an age range and a reading level. If you're noticing that some of the words are maybe too small or there's too many words on a page, you might want to just choose one that has a level a little bit lower in the alphabet than what you're on. That's just one way to take a look at it. But I'm going to flip through some of these pages and we can see what kind of information we can find. Maybe you want to spot some things out as I
Okay.
click through.
Awesome. An inventor and a teacher. Oh, I like here. I know on the previous page it did tell us that he invented the telephone, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here I'm finding out information about his early life, a boy in Scotland. It tells me when he was born and where. He was born in Scotland, March 3rd, 1847. It says that his dad and his grandfather were also named Alexander Bell. That's kind of cool. So he went by the nickname Alec. All right, let's keep going. I like all the pictures too. Shows his high school, what he enjoyed doing when he was in as a boy and in high school, like science, collecting shells. He was homeschooled till he was 10. That's pretty cool.
Whoa.
Oh, this is really neat. It kind of talks about what toys people played in the 1850s when he was a kid. Marbles and jump rope, transportation. Okay. Oh, he was a teacher. He began teaching speech and music. He was 16 years old when he became a teacher. That's really young. Yes. Some of his students were older than him, it said. That's an interesting fact that I might want to use later on.
That is interesting.
Wow. They moved to London when he was in 1865, and he taught there. Oh, then they moved to Boston, Massachusetts, the United States. All right. And then we're getting into information about testing telephone transmitters and presenting the telephone. So this is all about his big invention of the telephone. Oh, this is a cool page. 7 cool facts about Bell. And you know we like to throw in, you guys always at some point in your research writing are going to have somewhere to talk about interesting facts. So these are cool pages to get those from. Other adventures in his life, timelines are really cool. When we're writing a biography, Miss Marquardt, it is always written in order from when the person was younger until either present day or when they passed away. So seeing that timeline and seeing how his life progressed, that's pretty cool. All right. And then, there's even a quiz at the end to see how well you... That was a really informative book, Miss Marquardt.
It really was.
And there's so many more, but even with that one book, I could probably write my entire paragraph.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of different information. I think what we need to know the most, so Alexander Graham Bell is the person who invented the telephone. Now, do you use a telephone?
I use a version of a telephone. Not many people have what we call landlines anymore, the kind that are at your house, but most people now have a cell phone, right? And we wouldn't have a cell phone if the regular landline telephone hadn't been invented by Alexander Graham Bell.
Exactly.
The cell phone is just like improved.
Yeah.
An improved telephone.
So he's a pretty important inventor, and it's something that, even though it doesn't look the same today, it's something that we are still using, which is really cool.
Yes.
So today we are going to be talking to you about a couple important things. Once you have chosen your famous person, we're going to be...
Not this guy.
No.
You cannot use Alexander Graham Bell. Do you hear me? You cannot use him. You have to choose your own person.
And we gave you ideas on the top of the page that you could use.
Not this guy. Okay.
We're going to be introducing something called a hook. That's new today, so I hope that you stick around and pay attention. And then we are going to get into our topic sentence.
Okay. So we have been, for the previous few weeks, writing research paragraphs on land animals and sea animals, where your first sentence of your paragraph is your topic sentence, where you let the reader know what the paragraph is going to be about. Well, because we're getting closer to 3rd grade and your writing skills are getting better, we're going to introduce something new that comes before the topic sentence, and that is the hook. And it's called a hook because it hooks the reader into wanting to read the rest of your paragraph or story.
Kind of reminds me of when I go fishing.
Yeah.
And you kind of like throw the, what do you call that? The fishing pole.
A fishing pole?
I don't really fish.
I don't really fish either.
Okay. You throw that fishing pole, the line has the little hook on it, and then you reel it in. So we're just we're not reeling in fish, we're reeling in readers to finish what we want to say.
Yeah.
All right.
So the hook can be all sorts of things. It can be, we like to start in 2nd grade with it being a question. Sort of like, have you ever used a telephone before? Or could you imagine a world without telephones?
I couldn't.
Doesn't that make you want to read the rest?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to ask you to write that down
Sure.
while I talk more about the hook.
You got it.
Could you imagine a world without telephones? Okay, so that's a hook. I know from my research that Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. So my hook, the thing that I want to hook readers in with, is going to have something to do with that. but not give anything away yet. I'll give it away when I get to my next sentence, my topic sentence. But this hook is just a question that's meant to grab your attention, okay? So let's think if I were to have used a hook when I was writing about my sea animal. What was our sea animal? The
We
whale?
wrote about the blue whale.
The blue whale, right? So maybe my hook would be, do you know what the biggest animal in the world is?
Ooh.
Okay, now I'm hooked. I want
I'm
to keep
interested.
reading this.
I want to know.
And then my topic sentence would go on to reveal, well, the biggest animal in the world is the blue whale, and it's incredible, right?
I
So
love that.
here, I'm hooking you in, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to write about. Could you imagine a world without telephones? And then my topic sentence is going to reveal what my paragraph will be about. Well, thanks to Alexander Graham Bell, we have the inventor of the telephone. We don't have to. Something like that. Thanks to, we want to make sure you include the name of the person you're writing about. That's very important. Thanks to Alexander Graham Bell.
I think that's GRAHAM.
HAM. The inventor of the telephone.
Oh.
Good job. It's looking well. Remember, you're not copying this. These are examples. You are not copying these sentences. These are our sentences. Thanks to Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, we don't have to. We don't have to what? I'm answering this question. We don't have to imagine a world without telephones because we have them, because he invented them. All right? Now, that's all you're writing today. You're going to write the name of the famous person you are researching. You're going to read all about them. Once you know what they do, okay, that's going to help you figure out what the hook is. Don't try to write your hook before you do your research. You need to learn about that person before you know what they do for your topic sentence and how to hook that reader in with some kind of interesting question. Okay? We look forward to reading this. I am super stoked to see what kind of cool hooks you guys come up with and what kind of cool people that we get to learn about when we read your biographies.
I can't wait.